Welcome or welcome back to another episode of our virtual workshop. Okay. Today we are going to do a recap of day 7 because we had a slight glitch in the last one. The internet was really bad, but yes, we need to just touch on it quickly and then move into today's class, which is fully for prompting, how to prompt for text, for video, for images. Basically your prompting is how the command you give to your AI, you know. So we're going to be learning the tips, tricks, or hacks to get the best out of your AI image, video, voice generators. All right. So if you're excited, type in the chat. Okay, as we get started with today's class. Hello. Hi, Rose International. How you doing? Welcome or welcome back. How you doing? Thanks for the music. The song you created today was really, really lovely. It shows you really enjoyed the last class, didn't you? You guys serenaded me with amazing music. It was really interesting to see the songs that you guys created. I'm so pleased with your class. At least a lot of you try with doing your assignment. So I'm really excited. I'm happy to see that. We just need more improvement when it comes to the attendance. Hello to the Utu Mira. How you doing? Greetings to you too. How have you been? How are you? I see the journalist is also here. How are you? How you doing? Okay, so you guys, because our class today is supposed to be focused on prompting, different forms, and the format for prompting. We have a lot to cover, but I want to touch on what we did last week. So if I don't touch on it as quickly as possible, then we will just be rushing through things. Yeah, so let's go to Google AI Studio. All right. So on your browser, you're going to click on aistudio.google.com. Okay. So you can see it up here. This is my browser. Okay. So let me move this out of sight. Yes, please. If you're using your mobile device, this is actually very accessible on your desktop. Yeah. But if you're using your mobile phone, your mobile device, you need to, switch the mode from mobile to video so that you can access most of the features. Okay, it's basically, that's how this works. So look at the site here, aistudio.google.com. So you want to do this. So here you can do a lot. There is so much embedded inside this particular there is just so much you can do here. Okay, so we'll be learning some of them before you are done with your classes. Okay, but this is where you want to land. Every one of you already have like your Gmail accounts and so on, right? So basically that's what you need to sign up, and you get a free account open for you instantly. So I would suggest that you use an email that you necessarily do not use often for this particular thing. Yeah, especially if we're going to have to build an app here before, you want to make sure that you have enough storage. You know that currently a lot of our platforms now, are based on storage. Yeah. So you want to make sure you have enough storage on your email. Gmail, Google gives you about 5 gig or so. Is it 5 gig? I'm not even sure right now, for free if you open a new Gmail account. And then you can upgrade that account, the storage, to about maybe 15 gig or something. I don't know. So you guys make your research. But what I would suggest is probably you open a separate account for this particular work. Whenever you want to work with Studio, I suggest that, right? But if your email is not so active, then no problem. Okay, so what you want to do is go to your Chrome browser, or any browser at all that can access Chrome. Okay, go to your browser and then type in aistudio.google.com. Okay, then you land on the page where it says get started. Click on the get started. You would need to sign in using one of those emails. So you just choose one of the emails you want to use, and this is the page you would land on. Okay, so this is where we are going to be working. Let me show you here. This is where we are going to be working. Okay, once you come here, you can see here that we have Google AI Studio here, and we are on the playground. Please do not worry about any of the other things. Okay, the focus here is on what? Playground. Click on it. If it's not highlighted, make sure you're clicking on playground. This is where you want to land, and this is the option. These are the options that you get for playground. Okay, build with agents. So there are models, there are agents. We do not want to build anything. We want to focus on models. So switch from agents. You can see that agents are currently highlighted here. Okay, you want to switch from agents to models. So I'm going to highlight models, not agents. Okay, go to models. So now you will see all of this. This is what you're going to see here. Look at all of this here. Okay, these are the options that we have for our story. Okay, these are the options we have. We have featured, we have code and chat, we have image generation, we have video generation, we have speech and music real time. So most of these, if you touch on anything that requires like advanced features, you have to pay for it, right? But text to speech is usually free on this platform. So that's why I said I was going to show you this. Okay, so what we want to do now is click on speech and music. Okay, now we have these options that you see here. You guys, please take notes, because that is what will separate you from, whatever you end up creating would how do I put it now? We'll show you whether you are going to pay or not. Okay, so here we're going to click on Gemini 3.1 Flash. Look at the top here. The first one has video option on it. The last one has music on it. The one we are going for is the middle one, the one that has audio. Can you see that here? That's the one we want to click on. Okay, TTS preview. Can you see it? TTS preview. So text to speech, that's the one we are going to click on. Just click on this one, and then we'll have our options. Okay, no, I think it's the first one. So let's go back. Let's go back and click on the first option. Let's go back and click on the first option. Okay, no, it's an option actually. That's the option actually, the second one. So you can see them here. These are the voices that are available. Look at the templates that are available here. It's the second one. So usually, because most of these things are now paid, they always almost want to push you to like, okay, buy a key, an API key, that's like so that you can pay for subscription or something to launch it. But yeah, as you can see, it has opened up for us here, right? So what you want to do is test this out. So I'll just be clicking on the voices so you can hear them, how they read. Okay, so let's go. We are going to test these out. These are templates that they created here for you, but trust me, there's so much, there are so many options here that you can now use for your own and customize to your own story. Okay, so let's hear them. All right.
Good morning. It's 68 degrees and sunny. Traffic is a bit heavy today, so I'd suggest leaving 10 minutes early for your 9 a.m. meeting. Regarding your support ticket,
you guys, can you hear how real it feels? Look at how it's reading like a real person, okay? That is your everyday assistant. Let's go to the next one, the guarded NPC.
Halt, traveler. The northern pass is sealed by order of the council.
You guys, can you hear a message for the elder. Step aside or I will force my way through.
No one passes.
So if you want to have multi-speakers, you can see here, this one gives you multi-characters. So if by adventure you're creating like a dialogue scene and you want to have multiple characters, and the dialogue should flow seamlessly, you can, explore this. And if you want them to be really, really dramatic in their rendition, you can hear how dramatic they are, right? So you can actually choose that. Okay. Now let's go to energetic host. Listen to this one.
Welcome back to the show. Today we're diving into the intersection of AI and creative expression.
Okay,
exactly. I've got so many thoughts on what happened this week.
Okay, so you can see it's like a conversation. If you're creating a podcast with multiple characters and they're having, conversations that feel real, this would actually work for you as well. The next one is a storyteller. Let's go to that one.
Right. The old house stood at the edge of the moor, its windows dark save for a single candle flickering on the third floor. No
You guys, can you hear how that master storyteller reads? So this one is one voice, one character, just like the everyday assistant, one character. Okay. The guarded NPC and the energetic co-hosts are usually like double characters. Okay, so let's hear add voiceover. So if you want to do a voiceover for an ad, maybe you want to advertise a shoe, a cake, or whatever else you want to advertise, the ad voiceover is something you might want to explore.
You don't just want a car, you want a sanctuary. Introducing the all-new Aetherus sedan.
Okay, so you hear that that's like doing an ad for you. If you want to do like a TV ad, whatever kind of ad or whatever, that voice will work for you. Now, these are templates. You can actually change the voice, right? But they're showing you how the reading can come out, like without you having to overstress yourself trying to set things up, you know. But you can go in, if you click that one, you can actually go in and see other voices that you can use to get this same kind of advert feel, okay? All right, so the training guide, this one now is for if you're doing like training like I'm doing right now and you want to train, read explainer kind of videos. This one will work, the training guide. Listen.
Welcome to Module 3, Advanced Security Protocols. In this section, we'll cover how to identify
so you can actually do this
phishing
and
attempts.
get different voices. Look at this one.
Welcome back to Brain Trust. Let's jump right into our next category, Ancient History. For 500 points, which ancient wonder was located
You guys, can
in
you
the
see
city
that?
of
And then the teacher.
Let's practice our pronunciation. Repeat after me, speaking slowly and clearly. El clima de hoy es absolutamente
Okay, so you guys, you can see that these are templates, quick start templates. That's what Google even calls it. Quick start templates. So let's imagine you want to use any of them.
Excellent.
What do you do?
Exactly
Okay,
right.
what do you do? Just
Next
click any
sentence.
of them. Okay,
Me
just click
gustaría
any of
pedir
them
un
and then
café
let's try
grande,
this. Let's
por
go for the
favor.
master storyteller
Me
because we are
gustaría
storytellers here, right?
pedir
So let's click on
un
that.
café
So we
grande.
load this one up and you can see here. You can set your scene depending for some of us that might be creating like narration type of video. If you want to have like all those like you remember I told you guys that sound effects sometimes will go with your music, your videos. You can add sound effects and so on. So you can easily put that here and describe your scene, you know, for the AI to understand the kind of, you know, reading it should give you, right? So for example, if I want to, let's try something here. I can change this here and say a quiet old cottage. I can change the library to a cottage and say grandma sitting on a rainy night. I like the rainy night because it will give that thunder feel, like, brrr, you know, this kind of feel. So thunder night, lightning occasion, flashes through the, you know, I like it. Okay, so gothic fiction, slow, deliberate pacing, and so on. Yes, so yeah, I'll still leave their script here, but you can paste your own script. Do you get? You can always paste your own script here. Then this is the voice. This is where we can choose our speaker. So we go to the end, look at our speaker here. You can see our speaker here. These are the speakers. So let's click on model setting. Let's see if we can change our speaker's sound. So you can change the tone of the speaker, like temperature. Temperature is like pitch, right? Whenever you say, you see temperature is basically like pitch. Like, should it be hot or cold, or do you understand? So lower, look at this point now, the speaker's voice is informative and lower pitch. That is the number here. That's the temperature, right? So if you change it, you'll get something else, you know, you get something else if you also move it down. Do you understand? So it's your pitching and so on. Okay, so I think I would leave it at the one was good. Okay, so let's look for our speaker, like the voice. Now, if we can change the voice here, or is it just pitch that they're giving us as an option? Okay, okay, yes, speaker. Yes, please. This is where we see speaker. You guys, can you see the speaker here? So you can choose speaker. Look at the voices. Now we have different voices here. These are so many voices you can choose. Let's look for one. Let's hear it. Can we hear? Yeah, I'm looking for a female sound. So we can test it out and see.
What idea do you want to bring to life?
This actually sounds nice. So if we click on her, we can change, we can have this speaker, right? Let's have this speaker doing our story. Just, this is basically a recap from last class. And because I didn't keep up that class, I'm trying to just cover this before we enter into today's class. So yes, I've selected the speaker. I think I'm good with this speaker. Yeah. So can it choose my speaker already? Yeah, it has changed my speaker. So you can see here that it has changed to the speaker I chose. So middle pitch, you can see here, there is middle pitch. So let's go back. This is the script. So let's ask it, what are we going to do? We're going to scroll down. This is where we're going to now select what we want. We'll click run. Once you have selected and put everything that you want, click run. You can see it's running now. That means it's generating, right?
The old house stood at the edge of the moor. Its windows dark, save for a single.
You guys, can you see? So it gives that gory, scary kind of read. Do you see? And if you want to download, just click here and download your audio, your sound, right? So that's basically it. You can play it again.
The old house stood at the edge of the moor. Its windows dark, save for a single.
Okay, so you guys, that's basically it. So you're depending on how long or short your script is and so on, you can easily come here and test this out. Then you can keep adding blocks. Speech blocks is like probably longer stuff, because you see how short this one was reading. Maybe it just picks one or two things there and reads. It doesn't add, so you can add more. Like speech blocks are like, okay, you look at it, if we click here, we can add another one. If you want to add another speaker or whatever, we don't need another speaker, we just need one speaker. Do you see that? So basically you can easily, if you don't understand anything at all, I'm rushing through it, you will still come back and watch this video and just follow it step by step. It is very self-explanatory. Where you want to focus on is that you are on playground. Anything else will deviate you. And you can see there are so many options and technicalities here. But the thing is, this gives you the most natural sounding kind of read. So if you want to control your reader to sound anyway, control the scene, control the sample, like the context. Okay, so if you want the person to be excited and whatever, make sure you are typing it here inside context. Be excited, be this, be that. You will type it inside here. You can see here, look at what they wrote here. Tone is suspenseful and deeply resonant, right? So if you don't even understand what you want to do, remember I've always told you, go to your AI and tell your ChatGPT, your Claude, whatever you feel comfortable working with, tell it that this is what you want to do and this is how you want your AI to read. Let it craft the description for you. Then you bring it here and put it here, just in case you don't know the right words to use. Describe it in the way you know how to describe it. The AI will put the right words together. Then you bring it here and place it here. The context is important for how you want it to sound. The context is important. You know that there are different ways. We always say, okay, for we who are Nigerians now, you know how we can use one word and complete a full sentence, right? Guy, how you dey? I dey. How you dey now? I say I dey, so it depends on the context, like sometimes, it means different things, but basically if you're spelling it, it is the same thing. So the context matters. So your duty here as the storyteller is come here, describe it here. That's how natural your reading will come out. Remember, that was what I promised you guys today. I was going to show you how to get the most natural form of text to speech for your stories. Okay? Now we are done with this. We can go back to today's class. So who's excited? If you're getting value, you know what to say. Tell me, if you're getting value. If you are lost, say I'm lost. If you're lost, say I'm lost so that we can find you. If you're getting value, say If you're lost, say I am lost. Okay, let me go to the chat. I want to see who's here. You guys, are we all here? If anybody is not here, tell them they are missing. Wake them up. Let me see who's in the chat right now. Let me give shout outs. I'm going to give shout outs to those who were early to class. Where are they? Where are my people? the first people to come to class today, Rose was in class. Rose International Studio was in class early. The journalist came early as well. The Utu Mirror was in class as well. You guys, shout out, shout out, shout out. Okay, so we have Nazareth, we have Cute Olive, we have Chamsy, and we have Genesis Productions, we have Favorite Art, we have the Reformers Arts Institute, we have, you know that the only way I will give you a shout out is when you're typing, right? If you're active, I see more than one comment here. That's when I'll call your name. If you are just writing one comment, forget it. I will skip your name. I'm gonna skip you. Yeah. Because you gotta give. You give the energy, I give you the energy back, Okay. So we got who else? Okay, so I don't see any new names in the chat. So everyone, you're welcome. Okay, so now we know how to generate music for our films. We know how to generate text narrations for our films as well, music, text to speech, and so on, right? So let me see. Does anyone have any questions? Do we have any questions? Okay, I'm seeing. What do we say? Can we download it? Yes, you can download it. Of course, I showed you that. Yeah. Yes, you can download it. Not the studio. You can't download the studio. The studio is web-based. So you just go to your browser, any of your browsers, and access it. Okay, anybody can access it. There is so much you can do there. I have an app that I built on that particular platform. And yes, you can do it. You can do that as well. But of course, to launch it out to more people, you have to pay. That's not on the free plan. Okay. But yes, there's just so much you can do there. You can generate images, you can generate videos. There's so much you can do. Okay. Yeah, download, but getting ready for Let me see. I'm trying to see if there are questions before I enter the main juice for today so that nobody feels left behind. So you know what to do. If you're getting value, please type If you are lost, say I'm lost. Ask your questions now before I move from text to speech and narration to today's class. Please, let's wake up the classes. Let's wake up people because we are just 10 on this live stream. You guys, we promised to do better, didn't we? Please, let's wake up the group. Let's go and tag people. Wake them up. Tell them to be in class right now. We are already 23 minutes into class. Please wake them up. Okay, so I've heard this voice. I've heard this voice in an online certification class. Okay. So at least now you know how to do it yourself, and then of course you can use it for explainers as well. All right. So I see your chats. Okay. All right. Okay. I see that everyone has got All right. So no questions, yeah? No questions. Okay. But it is not working on my what? On my phone. I just tried it now with my iPhone and Android, but it's not working or showing. What did you try? What did you try that's not working or showing? You guys ask questions now so that we can sort it out. What did you try that's not showing? Please ask your question. Be very direct. Describe what you see. Describe what happened. What did you do? Because I cannot see your screen. Please describe so that we can talk. Okay? Okay. All right. I'm waiting. Ask your questions. Okay, can you touch on those song creation and the other one you taught last? What do you want to hear about the song creation? I already taught on that. You were not in the class. Were you in that class? What did you miss? Ask a direct question. I'm not going to go over the whole class. No, I will not go over the whole class. I already taught on it. That's why we ask you guys to be in class. Yeah, I think what I would start doing, yes, so that I can make some people miss out. I'll start dropping, I hide the classes so that anyone who misses out has missed out. I decided to touch on this because the last time the internet was really bad. So I couldn't show you guys everything. Yeah, some of the platforms were really acting up and so on. But I was really proud of you guys that despite that, you went and you tried it out yourself and it worked. Yeah. So that was really impressive for me. And I felt, yeah, why not? Let me just show you guys one more platform. Yeah. So that's why I'm doing that. I'm not going to go over the whole class from last class. No, we already did that. So come to class early, come and get value. And then, But if you have a direct question, if you were in class that day, come and ask me a direct question. I would answer you now. Okay. Okay. Network. Yeah. Network. It's raining. It's raining. Okay. Downloading the Google AI Studio. Oh my goodness, guys, I have repeated this over and over. You are not supposed to be downloading it. It's a web platform, web-based platform. Web. Okay, I was in class, network was bad. Yes, so ask your direct question. Ask your question. Ask the question. What question do you have? Ask it. Okay, I'm going to answer you. I'll answer you. Okay. Ask your question directly. I would answer you. If you were in class, you would definitely have something that confuses you from that class. So I would answer. All right. So yeah, I'm seeing, okay. Okay, so even mine is disturbing. Okay, the internet is bad, network is bad. Yeah, but we keep moving. You guys, if I'm not seeing question, I'm moving forward. Don't drag me back when we move. We're going to move fast. We're going to move fast. I told you guys that, yeah? I told you guys that. So ask your questions. I think about 2 people wanted to ask questions, and I said, ask your questions. I'm waiting for your questions. I'm waiting before I move forward. Okay, so we're moving. We're moving. Let's go. This is a moving train. You guys. So welcome to day 8 officially. So today we're talking about prompting. How do you prompt and get the kind of results you need or you desire, right? Some people can prompt, and of course, like I said, we're going to be doing practicals as well. This is not necessarily just theory. I did bring theory, but while we are doing the theory here, we would also be practicing. Okay, so a lot of us can start off with regular random prompts, but after today's class, the goal is you must not be a regular prompter again. You will already understand the power of prompting and how to get the best, okay, how to get the best out of your prompt. So that's what we're doing, okay? All right, so I couldn't get the whole lesson. I'll come to you for recap. You couldn't get the whole lesson. That's confusing. That's really confusing. You couldn't get the whole lesson. Okay. That's weird. All right. So one of the network. Okay. Anyone who misses this class, you're not getting a recap. Everyone is going through the same challenges you're going through. Commit yourself to staying through and, of course, getting engaged. You saw people doing their assignments and so on. You could have attempted it and probably asked for help on the group and say, hey, see what I tried to do and I couldn't do it. And then people would tell you, okay, do this, because they see that you have tried something. Not allowing people to come to class. They spend their own time. They spend their own resources, come to class, and then you probably, like you said, you came to class, but you avoid doing what you need to do. And then you say, explain the whole class to me. No, nobody should do that. If you are a serious student here, if you are caught, if I hear it, in fact, we're going to have a problem. Okay. We are going to have a serious problem. Nobody should be giving recaps to anyone who thinks they are not as serious as you. Yeah. There used to be a time that they'll say, oh, you are over sabi. Yes, be over sabi in this one. Because by the time you start making money, when everybody, let there be a disparity between those that learned and those that did not learn. Let us have that, right? Let us have that, please. Because everyone will look at it and think, oh, it's very simple. It's very this, it's very that. Yeah. Let us have a disparity. I want to make sure that by the end of this class, we can separate people. Because remember, you guys, some people have forgotten. We are actually looking out for interns at the end of the day. You're going to be working with myself and the mentors. Real life cases, real life scenarios, real life productions. So if anyone does not put in the work, you're not getting that, from us. You won't come and when I say, okay, TTS, you're asking me what TTS is. Guys, no, that's not what we're looking for. Okay, so at the end of the day, we need to make sure that we have that disparity. Okay, we need to make sure that we're able to select who is who from here. So it's a competition at the end of the day. So anyone who is serious, let's see them. If you're not serious, then it's nobody's business. Okay. All right, so we're moving forward. We are begging you guys now with knowledge. By the time you start making the money, you will forget where you got the knowledge from. You will not come back and say, oh, take, oh, for this. This is something that will give you money. We are not giving you skill that will not earn you money. You know the trend today. So why are we begging people to be in class? I beg you. Do you understand? I'm getting really mushy right now, you guys. I was really happy after I saw all those songs, but someone coming into class to tell me you did not get the whole class. Guys, I spent almost 2 hours here. You're telling me my 2 hours is wasted. You didn't get the whole class. All right, moving forward. The art of prompting, you guys. Let me go through the chat, Let me go through the chat. Okay, so... yeah, I noticed that the reason I stopped sharing PDFs is because I noticed that some people, just like we're talking about here, people are not coming to class. It's not encouraging. These are things that have been prepared to share because these took time. You all should know that it takes time to do this. So if I prepare to come for class and then someone somewhere who is more busy than I am doesn't show up expecting me to send them my slides that I took time to do, for what purpose exactly? Do I owe you that? I do not. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't owe you that. You owe me to come to class. That's your way of paying me. You choose not to, but you are expecting something from me? Nah, it doesn't work like that. Yeah? All right, so we move. We move, you guys. Energy for energy. You guys know that, right? Energy for energy. Let's raise the vibes. Let's hold each other accountable. If we are going to continue this after now, I want to know my people. I want to know the people who are active. We're going to have to create a separate group, right? Because we're not going to be dragging dead weight. We're going to have to create a separate group for the people that we are deliberately working with, people that we will build after here. So I am particularly taking note of the people that, one, have been active, showing up in classes, also commenting and being actively engaged on your WhatsApp group. I'm taking note. You guys know I don't chat regularly, but guess what? Go and check. I usually read. Guys, I have the time to read. I'm a writer. I will read. Do you understand? I read everything. So yes, we are taking note of these things because it's important. You cannot be a storyteller and not be active. This is a job. This is a job. It looks like a joke to you guys now. But when you start to get involved in productions and your client is saying, no, this does not meet standard, and you're getting about 3 different reviews when you could have just learnt it and do it like a professional, you understand that, the time where I suppose use they chase another job, now I sit down for one job. You understand what I'm saying? This is a job. We're giving you a skill, handing you a skill that will end up feeding you, and we they beg you, make you come carry the skill. Like, I don't know where that has been done. I don't know. I really do not understand. You guys, we're spending too much time on this. I'm moving forward for the sake of the people who actually come early, right? For the sake of the people who actually come early, we're moving forward. Anyone, if you get it, you get it. I always ask you guys, tell me in the chat, ask me questions. I will answer your questions. As long as you're in class, you ask me questions. Guys, I got you. But it's really, really annoying that I would show up here. Do you know the things that I'm juggling? At least everybody has got 24 hours, right? I juggle all of that, but I know that, hey, I committed this time to these people. This time was chosen by you people. Ask the organizers. I actually asked him to ask you guys, okay, choose a time. And he said, you guys put a poll and you chose this time. So why am I not seeing people here by this time? Right? Okay. The art of prompting. What prompt really is. Prompt is the anatomy of a great, so this is the anatomy of a great prompt. So we're going to be touching on the anatomy of a great prompt. Prompting for your story, prompting for audio, prompting for image, and prompting for video. All right, so we're moving forward. You guys have seen me, how I talk to my AI and the rest, right? But it did not just start there. It did not start from me waking up one day and I just started talking to my AI like that. No, it did not happen like that. My AI already has a document of me, who I am, what I offer, and all of that. It has been done, and I handed it to every of my AI. Claude knows me. It goes beyond the name. You know, when you sign up and you have a name on it, when you come in to say, hey, welcome, SAB, no, it goes beyond the name, right? It goes beyond the name. You have to be able to teach your AI. So if you ask it to write a bio about you, your AI should know you. Right? So we're going to be working on that today to see how you can come up with so that when you're creating content, when you're creating scripts, when you're creating, it sounds constantly like you, right? I have never come up since I discovered this, direction. I have never lacked, what do I post? What do I do? And I can do diverse things, right? From script to content to copies to website, whatever you want to design. My AI already understands my tone, my voice, and then when I'm working for a client, I will now impute my clients also their own voice, their own, do you understand? So you have to understand it. So what I'm saying in essence, it goes beyond just saying, create a this for me. So that's what we're about to do today. That is the crux of the matter for today. All right. A prompt, what it is, what is the anatomy, and of course, prompting for story, audio, image, and video. Yeah, so that's what we're talking about. So, of course, you already did your TTS and AI music generation from last class. You now understand it, how to create your instrumentals, how to create your full song. If you want to create a full song, I saw a lot of you created amazing music. Oh my goodness, I'm still gushing over the whole, serenaded me with like love songs. That was so beautiful. And I want you guys to do more of it. Do you know that music generation alone can earn you money? That is a skill on its own. You guys, if you know musicians around you, some of them don't write their songs themselves. Nah, they do not. So if you understand the technicalities, for example, I loved, see how detailed Rose International Studio song came out. Yeah. It showed that this person put depth into the script of their song. It was detailed and it connected to the issue the song was created for. I listened to that song from the beginning to the end, and I was looking for the AI input. All I saw was someone who understood a tool and used it to communicate the exact message they wanted to share. That is a creator. That is who I'm talking to through today's class. Okay? So everyone who is here, you need to distinguish yourself, separate yourself from everybody else. What is that thing? You now have the tool. How can you separate yourself from everybody else? What is your own message? This person understood that, hey, I want to say this through my song. And every single line hits the mark, right? They put in the task, the goal, everything. Every one of you were gushing over it. I saw a lot of reactions to it. Yeah, not like we did not all create our own songs and the rest, but guess what? You could connect to it. Right? You all could connect to it. Why? Because there was an artist behind that. That is why we are talking about this today. I'm not here to hand you a tool and say, go and tell the AI to create. I am here to tell you, you as a creator, use this tool and create for me. Do you understand? So you already learned that you can easily reach out to people like who have talent, who need your script writing skill, and then you write songs for them. Tell them you will never go out of songs. I will always write a song for you, right? That is money on the table. Another way to make money. Now you know how to generate songs. You guys, you can go and ask your uncle or your auntie or your pocket money, pay for one of these tools, get access to the premium plan, okay? And then begin to generate songs for people. Sell your songs. Sell the songs you generate. When you do it like this, they get all those campus play, all those campus things, right? Go, or I don't know, I'm talking of campus because I see some of you are in university, yeah? But those of you who are not yet in university, maybe your church choir, your church this, go there and connect your phone. When you download your song, go there, connect your phone to the speaker. Make it in they play. May they ask, who sang that? You say, Nami, I can. Sell it. Sell it. Yeah, that's money. Sell it to your uncle, sell it to your auntie, sell it to whoever. Do you understand? This is not a joke. You can sponsor yourself through school. You can pay your own bills. You can live that rich life you are looking at. It looks glamorous on there. Yes, you can be that next person, right? You're hearing people getting jobs that are paying them and so on. You are making that job right now. That's what I'm telling you. This is your skill. This is your money. This is what we are handing you here. So start to think, when you learn this, what can you do with it? A lot of you are already talented. I already see it on that group. You're generating very beautiful posters, film posters. Oh my goodness. There was someone that generated a film poster, and I was going to ask the person, have you been doing this before? Do you understand? It was so nice. Sicarus or something. Who is the person that generated Sicarus? Sicarus. That image was very good. That image, they did it for their music, I think. Sicarus, I don't know. There was a film poster like that. The person did that. So it was really, really nice, very beautiful. Okay. So I love that sword in the title. Yeah. I was the one with Sicarus. Amazing. You guys, please give it up for I Caught Sin. Even the name is creative. Oh my goodness. That was so beautiful, you guys. Do you see that? So you guys have got talent here. So begin to market it. Tell somebody, I can do this for you. I feel generate magazine poster for you. I feel generate this thing. Do you understand? That's what we're talking about today. So you already did TTS. You already did AI music generation. You know, even some YouTubers are looking for you guys. YouTubers are looking for you. All those YouTube storytelling channels that are, they are looking for. Tell them that you can offer it. Go and pay for one of these things. Collect some pocket money. Pay for the premium plan so that nobody will come and meet you and say, oh, you scam me. No, don't do that. Go and pay for it. And then you own it, so that anything you generate, it is yours. You own it. So when you sell it, you are selling it with full chest, because you generated it from the plan, and the policy says that when you pay for it, you own the rights for it. Okay. So of course, we're still going to be talking about some platforms, because some platforms are very cruel, like CapCut. CapCut is very cruel. Whether you generate or not on their platform, whether you pay or not, they own your work. You guys need to know that. That's why you don't see me promoting it. Okay. So you need to know some of the policies that go with some of those platforms. All right. So you guys, you need to understand these things. That's why we're talking about it. Okay. Prompting is the skill that powers everything. Yes. Then your first AI image. We're going to talk about your first AI image. Okay. So you guys, you need to understand. For those who are thinking, what is a prompt? What is a prompt? You guys have heard us talk about prompts. Prompt is basically, I gave you that handbook at the beginning of our classes, right? It's basically the instruction you give to your AI. So if you give a vague instruction, it's going to give you vague response at the end. So let's test it out together. Remember, it is practical and theory, right? So this is a man that I generated here. So we're going to play with this again. We are going to be using Gemini. All right. We're going to be using Gemini. Gemini is my, what do I call this one? I already have a real boyfriend and a side boyfriend now. What do I give Gemini now? Let's call Gemini like side assistant boyfriend or something. You guys give me a title for Gemini. Okay. What do I call Gemini? All right, so Gemini is that boyfriend that makes my heart glad. Like, he's the multitasker. You know that boyfriend that never gets angry. If you say come and cook, he will cook. If you say come and give me massage, he will give you massage. If you say come and do this, he will do. Do you understand? Is that boyfriend that never gets upset? So that's the kind of feel with Gemini. Okay, so we're going to be using Gemini. We're going to test that out. Remember, if you give it vague prompt, if you give it a vague instruction, it's going to give you a vague response in return. So now let's do this. We're going to tell it to create an image. We want it to create an image for us. So I'm going to click the plus sign. I'm in Gemini. I'm going to click the plus sign. I'm going to click on images, right? So I have different image options here, but let's do a vague prompt and say create a dragon in Africa. Okay, let's just go. My brain is really giving more details, but yeah, let's go with the vaguest of it. You guys, who's still here that hasn't clicked on the like button? Who's here that hasn't clicked on the like button? Please click on the like button. So once I write that, I'm just going to click send and let's see. Okay, you guys can see how vague that prompt is. Like, what did I just say there now? Create a dragon in Africa. Like, seriously, like really. Okay, but yeah, it's going to answer. So let's see. Okay, let us see that, you guys. Look at this. It comes out looking nice, okay? It gives some details and so on. But let us start off with what is wrong here. Let us even start off with what is wrong here, first and foremost. Did I choose this size of the image? Did I choose this size? I didn't. That's the default. Yeah? That is the default. I did not choose this size of image. That is number one problem. Number two problem, what is this dragon doing here? Why is the dragon so big? I did not say giant dragon. Why is the dragon bigger than all the trees? And what's really happening here? This looks like all those, there's a car here. I did not ask for a car. I don't even understand what's going on. Like, okay, there are animals here. The animals just feel the field. And they're not even running. The dragon is here. You guys, like, can you see that? This looks like a nice image to someone who does not know, right? But what exactly is going on? What story is this telling? What story is this image telling? I really don't know, because, of course, I did not put a story here, right? This is just basically maybe your 5-year-old picking up that is what will separate you as a storyteller from the other person. Okay. So yes, I want you guys to punch holes in this image, and then we come back and do it like professionals. Okay. So some of us are beginning to think now that yes, I think we should create dragon films in Africa. Yes, I think we should. I actually suggest we do. Okay, that's why I did not go straight and use a human character, because I know a lot of us would default to using human characters, right? But I want us to begin to think. Remember, I told you guys, think. Do the most. I want you to do the most. I want to see underwater film. I want to see mermaid films. I want to see, like epic films like this where dragons are breathing fire. I want to see it. I want you guys to go over and beyond. I don't want you to do the conventional, only human characters. And when we do human characters in our Nollywood film, they're always inside house, hotel, billionaire. Guys, are we not tired of it? Let's see the new generation creators begin to tell new stories, okay? That's why I went for this in the first place. Okay, so now we have seen how generic and whatever this can look like, yeah? Okay, so what can we actually begin to do? What can we do differently? Remember, all I said was create a dragon in Africa. But now let's take that concept of create a dragon in Africa. Let's go back to our slide and see what we should do differently instead of just telling it, create a dragon in Africa, right? Let us see, what should we do instead of just saying, create a dragon in Africa? What should we do? Okay, let's see that. All right, so now we go down. Look at this. Prompting connects everything you have done so far, okay? So what is a prompt? For a film director, it means that you give actors direction. Remember, so in conventional, traditional filmmaking, what happens is that you give actors direction, not just to tell them, say the line, you give them script, you just say the line. No, you don't just do that. You tell them how to say the line. You emphasize the tone, the pace, the emotion, and the intention. Okay? When you get a client brief is telling you, this is what I want you to do. For example, if you're supposed to create an advert for your client is basically asking you or telling you what they want you to do for them. Right? So it tells a designer, not just make a logo. That is generic, instruction. But your designer will tell you about the brand, the audience, the feeling, and the constraints. So your duty is to take that information and create something that tells the exact story that your client asked you to tell. Every image, every picture, everything that we see must tell a story. You're not just creating image for image's sake. Your prompt is what separates you from the regular person who says, oh, I know ChatGPT, now not be just ChatGPT. Right? Everybody has access to it. Everybody can download it now. Your grandma can download it. Your pastor can download it. Anybody can download it. They will tell you, I know how to use it now. But what will separate you now is the fact that you understand that you are not just creating an image. You are creating a story with your image. So an AI prompt is what? This is what does the same thing. Think about it. We have talked about what a film director does, right? Remember, We have talked about who will not be replaced, right? So at this point, using your AI, you have become a film director. Whether you are an actor, some of you have introduced yourselves as an actor, right? Whether you are an actor today, using your AI, you are now a film director. Do you understand? You are now a film director. You are the one to talk about the pace. Okay, how fast do you want it to go? You're the one to talk about the tone. How should they say it? You're the one to talk about the emotion. What should they feel? Should the character cry or should the character not cry? Should the character shout? Should the character not shout? The intention. You are the one to describe all of that now. So you have what? You have become the director. Okay? So for an AI prompt, the AI prompt does the same. For whatever you are generating, the more direction you give, do you see that? You give, the more control you have. For example, here, we did what? We just said generate a dragon in Africa. Did it give us control? We don't have any control over what it created. Can you see that? This did not give us control. This did not give us control at all. We don't have control here. This is not our imagination. This is the AI's imagination, and it can do this for 1,000 people. Anybody that comes to the AI now and say, create a dragon in Africa, this is what it will give them. So this is not your work. You do not own this. Can you see that? You do not own this. This is not your work. You only said create a dragon in Africa, and the AI, out of his memory, he just pitched an image of Africa that it has, plus a dragon, and of course, guess what? He put it here. If you look at this, you will see that this image of Africa is what you will see if you Google. When you Google Africa Safari, this is it. Africa Safari. And when you say Africa, you guys, we are in Africa. Why is this what Africa looks like when you say generate for Africa? Don't you guys see that thing that we have been talking about? This is what is basically describing Africa to the AI. A vast empty land full of animals. And can you guys see that? That is basically what the AI understands as Africa. So if you give it that generic prompt, you have no control over what it will give you at the end of the day. So it is your duty to put as much details. That is why you guys see me, that whenever I'm talking, I will use the voice feature, and I will talk. I will explain to the AI so that it will understand what I am saying. Okay, so that is the detail. That one that I gave it now becomes my own story because I control the output. I hope I'm communicating. If you're getting value, say If you're not getting value, say I'm lost. If you're getting value, say I'm getting value. Let me see who is getting value and who is lost here. If you're lost, say I'm lost. If you're getting value, say I'm getting value. Okay? If you're lost, say I'm lost. If you're getting value, say I'm getting value. Okay? I'm not saying, okay, amazing. So here, we're talking about control. Your prompt gives you control. So how do we maintain this control? Is there a format we can use to get control at the end of the day? Yes, there is. So we're going to be talking about that format so that you will never miss it. I know that sometimes we want to work on the spur of the moment. We want to run as fast as possible. We want to, try to cheat nature or whatever, we do our sharp. But you guys, it's all about your creativity. If you do them sharp, we go no. We'll know if you spend time to do it, and we'll know if you do not spend time to do it. So you are not just a filmmaker anymore. You are now a director who speaks AI, who uses AI to create your story, okay? So for a writer, your prompt for your story, you prompt for story, you prompt for dialogue, you prompt for structure. For a cinematographer, you prompt for lighting, you prompt for camera, you prompt for framing. For a costume designer, you prompt for what your character wears. For a sound designer, you prompt for voice, tone, music, atmosphere. For an editor, you prompt for pacing, for transitions, for mood. Yes, you can do all of these things. Don't worry. We are going to be exploring them, especially when it comes to creating ad. Some of you want to know how to create adverts. You want to know how to create, all of those things. But you need to understand the foundation first. If the foundation is good, yes, you are going to be getting the best results. Okay, so you need to understand that from here. All right, prompting is not a technical skill bolted into filmmaking. Prompting is actually filmmaking now. You guys, some of you say, oh, prompting is nah, it is actually part of your filmmaking today. Okay, every decision you used to make on set, you now make it in your language. You are now able to communicate. So you guys, if you ask me, I feel like today AI is making all of us better communicators. Today, AI is making all of us better communicators. So if you're not able to communicate your idea, what is inside your head, then there is a problem. So what happens is, it is what you communicate from your head, garbage in, garbage out. Right? What you see in your mind is what you will communicate to the AI. So today, I feel like the benefit of AI is that all of us now are now better communicators. So if maybe you vex your wife, or your wife vex you, and you want to write to her, before you not going to know how to write, you feel write only thanks. You understand? You feel write TANX to her, but you mean to say more. Or, you mean to say, I'm sorry for that thing that I did, blah, 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 blah. You actually want to say it, but you don't know how to write it. You don't know. And sometimes you even think about it and you say, you go too long. You understand? Guess what? You can actually turn on your ChatGPT or your Gemini or your Claude or whatever else you use and voice your thoughts. Even when you want to convey, because you guys know that sometimes most of our quarrel is how we say it. Why are you talking like that now? You understand? Even when they say sorry, right? You say, sorry now. You understand? But what if you could actually convey your emotions without offending the other person? So imagine you pour your heart into it just to tell the person that the person really offended you. Abi, you tell the AI tell the person that I said it is because they did this, that's why I'm angry. Guess what? The AI will, write it properly for the person, and you will copy it, you send the person, whether as WhatsApp message or whatever. Guess what? The person self will feel say, I don't get time to read. All they need to do is what? Play the message, and the message will read it to them. Can you see what I mean by better communication? So now, even some of those issues that we used to have, why are you talking like that now? Why you they shout now? Do you see? Those things were the things. It was not more than that, but because of presentation, because we don't know how to communicate, it has caused a lot of problems. So if we are able to communicate better, which I feel that AI is currently doing, if you know how to use your tool, it saves you a lot of challenges. So I know I deviated just a bit to give you that example, but what I'm trying to say today is that problem when you get when you did traditional set, as the director, you say, stand like this now, stand like this. You don't need to say stand like this. Tell the AI to tell the character, and this is how I want the character to stand. Guess what? The AI understands your language. It's going to change it. It will tell the character stand profile. That is the language. That is the language. You not get the language. You don't know him. You go to vest for set. Normal. You go to shout. That shout where you shout, you don't waste time for set. You understand? You would have wasted a lot of time shouting on set. Stand like this now. Why this person they wear this cloth now? Why this that? We are always shouting. And guess what? Even in our films, we shout. Even in our films, we shout. We know if we communicate our idea, our story, right? Today, with the AI, if you know how to use it, it makes you a better communicator. So now, what are you going to do? You're taking the same thing that you used to do on traditional sets. You're going to put it into your AI and direct your AI. So now this is the anatomy of your prompt. You guys can see it. I left it on screen deliberately. I left it on screen deliberately. So I want you guys to look at it so that whenever you are supposed to give a prompt, you can ask yourself, am I prompting for script? Am I prompting for audio? Am I prompting for video? Am I prompting for image? So depending on the context, remember context is always very important, right? You must understand what you're prompting for. What direction do you want to give? What information do you want to give? For what channel, for what platform are you trying to create what you're creating for? If you can answer that, it is easy. Subject means who or what. Who or what, right? For example, I'm going to go back to the person who created that amazing sound for me. You guys, look at that music that Rose International Studios created, right? It was so beautiful because it was directed at someone. It was directed at someone, and it did not miss the mark because the person, the creator, understands the who and the what. Who are they talking to, and what do they want to say? Did any of you miss it? If you missed it in that song, tell me. If any of you missed the who and the what in that song, tell me in the chat. Tell me in the chat. I want to see those that listened to that song and those that did not listen. That song that everybody was doing wow, 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 about. We all became sirens on the group, right? We all became sirens. We're doing wow, 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 wow. Yeah. That song, it touched you somewhere and you understood the who and the what. In fact, I was hearing the name repeated over and over, over and over, over and over. The what was clear. We will not do this again. We'll do this. We will not do that. Do you understand? Who and what was clear. Your prompt must be able to convey that. Your prompt must be able to convey that, the who and the what. That is the core of your prompt. Your character, your topic, your scene. Okay? The context, where and when this happens. What is the world around? The time period, situation. Okay? So it depends, like we have said, it depends on what you are prompting. Are you prompting an audio? Are you prompting for a story like a script? Are you prompting for an image? Are you prompting for a video? Each of these will differ, but these are the things you must consider whenever you want to prompt, okay? The subject, the context. So the action, okay? The action is basically what is happening here at this time. What exactly is happening here at this moment? When we see this image, when we see this frame, when we see this scene, what exactly is happening? The specific moment, line, activity, what do you want from that particular image that we see? That is what action means, okay? Number 4 is style. Of course, you cannot take style away from it, you guys. Style is important. Style is important, right? The style and the tone. How? Your style and your tone explains the how. How should it look? How should it sound? How should it feel? We have talked about this before, but I'm trying to give you that because we're going to implement this, in our next, generation of that generic prompt that we tried. Okay. And then the constraint and what to include or exclude in our prompt. Okay. We're going to take all these things now. We're going to go back to that generic prompt, the image of the dragon in Africa. We're going to go back there and we're going to use it. Who, what, where, when, what is happening? How is it happening? The look, the feel, the sound, and of course, other specific details, just in case you want to stylize some things, you want to add one or two, we're going to go there and try that out. Okay. Are we ready to test it out? Are we ready to test it out? Are we ready to test it out? Who's ready? If you're getting value, say, If you're lost, say, I'm lost. What's the first thing we're supposed to do? Let's go there and type it. Who and what? Let's go back. Yeah. We're going to put it in here. Who and what? Okay. So I'm going to collect this generic one. This is our base prompt. I'm going to put that here as base prompt. What? Who? When? Where? How? And any other thing that you want to add. So let's look at that. Okay, any other thing. You can see details here, like specifics. The details are basically about your costume details, colors, accents, camera angles, and so on, right? Constraints, if you want to add some negative prompts, if you want to add some length, quality anchors, and so on, you can add them here. Okay, so let's go back there. So now imagine our initial prompt is what? Create a dragon in Africa. That was our initial prompt. Okay, so what do we want to create? We want to create a very sharp, I'll put here the sharpest image of a dragon. Okay, the who is our dragon. Let's go back. A dragon. Okay, so I can here choose, okay, a dragon when at sunset. Okay, we're inside a cave up in the mountains in a rainforest. How? Preparing to fly. Preparing to fly. So we can now add other details. Remember the details? So we can add that here. I can say I want to create this in 8K. I can choose my format. If I say hyper realistic, I'm going to get the one that we have here. I can also choose 3D animation. I can also choose what else can we choose? What else do we want to add here? Any other thing you want to add though? Let's go back. Let me see if there are other things I want to add. Okay, yes, let's choose the dimension. I can choose the dimension to be 9 by 16. 9 by 16. That means it's going to be portrait. So I can put portrait in brackets. Okay, so you guys can see these are some details that you probably might miss out. So you remember I did not choose how it will come out before, but now I can choose it. Yes, definitely you might want to choose 16 by 9 landscape if you're going for like a regular TV kind of film, right? But 9 by 16, I'm choosing that because I would want to display it fully on this screen since we are live right now. Okay, okay. Let beware government houses going for emission. Oh my God, who is that? Okay, so over a rainforest. Okay, so let's go and see if we can add more details here. Can we add more details? You guys see anywhere we can add more details? You can add more details into your prompt. You can see that here. This will help us, okay? This will help us here, a dragon. Okay, so we can make it a very scary dragon, a very scary old dragon. Aha, at sunset. Okay, we can even say while the rain is falling. While the rain is falling heavily. Aha. Inside a cave up in the mountains in a rainforest, overseeing an African village with lots of nature, how is this character preparing to fly? What is the character doing? How is the character is very fierce and so on and so forth. So we can add here as our details cinematic lighting. So you can control weather, you can control light, you can control whatever. So let's go with this. Let's see. So yes, all of this, yeah, you can still have your AI do this work for you. But remember, I love to teach you processes first, right? So that before you hand it to the AI, you already know what you want, right? So that the AI, when it's doing the work, you already know what it's going to be giving you because you have done the work. You're not just outsourcing your memory or your brain to the AI. Right? So you guys, can you see this now? Can you see how detailed these came out looking? Can we all see the difference now? Can we all see the difference? Can you see the details in the prompt? Right? So it is different from the previous one. It is different from the previous prompt where we did not even know what our AI character, the dragon, was going to do or whatever. Can you see that? So you can add more details to this. This was just me doing this on the spur of the moment. And yes, you can still decide that, hey, I like this or I don't like this. You can see it gave me other options. You can see this here. That's basically our dragon. This is sunset, it's raining, you can see it in a cave, overseeing the village, and so on. So you can add this. The more details you add, the more it becomes your own concept. The more you add, the more it becomes your own concept, the more it becomes your own story. So while we are here, you remember I did cinematic and I did hyper realistic and so on, right? What I want to do now, I download this image now and I want to change it to something else, because that's basically going to be our next class, when we will be talking about the different things we can do with our image, because a lot of us come from Nollywood. So that's why I have taken it upon myself to make sure that we will change some of those things, right? So I want us to begin to explore other kinds of stories, right? I want us to begin to explore other kinds of stories. Stories that feature non-humans as characters, as our protagonists. Stories that feature more elemental beings. Stories that feature, let's go over and beyond. All those things that we used to like about Hollywood, can we begin to tell it in our own Nigerian, African, way of telling stories? Okay, so just to tease the class a bit, this particular image, I still probably do not like how hyper realistic it is. So I'm going to tell it, change the image. I want to change the style. Change the image to 3D Pixar style animation. This is me just teasing the class, because I'm giving you a teaser for the next class when we'll be testing out different types of storytelling and styles. Okay, so this same image that we have here, right? Very beautiful image, very cinematic. But what if I actually just want maybe something that is cartoonish for kids? Yeah, I want to tell a dragon story for kids. So that's what I'm doing here. I told you to change that style to what? A 3D Pixar style animated character. You guys, look at this. The same character, the same thing, but look at, we changed the style. So it looks less scary than before. Are we seeing this? Right? It is possible to actually have, and tell you, depending on the audience you're telling your story for. So your audience might be cartoon audience, people who want to see cartoons, or they might be cinematic. For example, if you want to do horror films, of course, this will work perfectly for horror, vampire kind of films. Do you understand? We can even choose to change the day or night. We can choose to, so here you can easily play with this. So yes, I'm already going into next class, but now we're not going to go into next class. We're going to stop here. So you guys, you can see that your prompting, the details of your prompting takes us from this, where we had no control, to, of course, this, takes us to this, and of course, this. I love this one perfectly. I love it. It's super, super cute, super beautiful. I love it. So you guys, this is what your prompting does. So I hope you have gotten the format, whether you are doing prompting for your text, whether you're doing prompting for your audio, whether you're doing prompting for your video or images. It is up to you to create the details. Garbage in, garbage out. So let's test out one last example just to show you why it is always very important. I will just write here and say create. Okay, so let's leave here and just come to a generic one, which a lot of people will usually do. Create an image of a man. Okay. Let's just go with this. I didn't even say what the man would do, but let's do this so that we all begin to see why the details are important. We have established that most of these tools are not created by us or for us in the first place. So if you want to tell a story and you just write, create an image of a man, does this man look like most of us? Do you see what I mean? Do you see why it's important for you to give a detailed description of, your character? Now, this man is not wrong. Nothing is wrong with this man in any way, shape, or form. But if this is not the story you're trying to tell, guess what? You do not have control over what your output will be. This is basically resting on your AI. This was thought out and prepared and given to you by your AI, not you. It has nothing to do with you. So you cannot lay claims to this. Okay? So, but if you choose to say, give me a character of a Nigerian man, you can choose to pick a place where the Nigerian man comes from. You can choose whatever else you want to add to this. It is up to you, and you get. If you're getting value, say I'm getting value. If you're lost, say I'm lost. Okay? If you're getting value, say I'm getting value. If you're lost, say I'm lost. Okay. All right. So yes. So I'm putting this on screen just to give us more structure before we wrap up. Okay. So if you're prompting for a story, you already know this. You already did it last week, but just to put context to it, you can easily, tell your AI, this is a template you can use with your AI for writing a story. You give your AI the role. I told you that before. You tell your AI the role you want it to play, maybe a screenwriter or a novelist. You tell it the format, scene, script, storyline, about, subject or character, set in, world, time, place, mood, tone. The tone of your story, how should it be? Is it an adventure story? Is it an action story? Is it a, whatever type of story, you put that there. The structure, act, hook, chaos, blah, blah, blah. We already did this. Constraint, the length. Is it supposed to be a 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes type of story? Your format, is it supposed to be a radio drama? Is it supposed to be a screenplay? Is it supposed to be, all of that? You put that here. And then, of course, style and rules, your own style and rules. At the end of the day, what else do you want to add to it? Okay, this is a template. This is something you can use going forward. All right. So this is a template for writers. You want to write a whatever. This is a template I'm giving you here to use. All right. So look at this here. This is an example that I created here. You are a screenwriter. Write a 60-second scene about a woman discovering a hidden letter. Set in 1960s Lagos. Tense, nostalgic. The structure is hook, chaos, conflict, twist, and the constraint is dialogue only. No narration. So it is left for you to put in the details. Use this structure to get whatever you want easily from your AI. Very, 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 very simply. Okay. Now, prompting for audio and your music, right? A lot of you already did amazing with this. You already tested it out. You already know what you want to get out of it. But just for those who probably are looking at the platforms and don't know where to go, right? I would usually suggest, right? I'm just giving you this prompt so that in case you're going to be working with any of your tools, I would usually suggest you do not generate your song directly on, even if you're using Suno, especially if you want to monetize it, right? But if you're generating for your own convenience, fine, good and fine, you can explore like that, right? But if you want to export it, if you want to sell it, please use your brain. Right? Use your brain. Go to your AI and use this template to generate your song first. That means you have created a human input so that even if you go to court, you can present that part where you put yourself into it. You use this template to get what you want, right? You can go to court with that evidence that I did this myself. But if the platform takes you to court or anybody takes you to court and you said you generated it via that platform and that platform claims to own your content, well, guess what? They will win because why? You use their platform to create that song directly. So it has nothing to do with you, right? So if you want to generate your songs, maybe for those who might be selling music to singers and so on, this template might help you. You can easily choose the voice and say, text, written for the ear, short sentences, voice. Select a voice matching age, energy, the character, tone or emotion, calm, urgent, warm, tense, playful. Pace, is it a slow and deliberate song? Is it quick and energetic? You choose. Emphasis, punctuations as direction, commas for pauses, caps for stressed words, ellipses for hesitation, etc. The music mood, you're going to choose the music mood. Is it tense? Is it hopeful? Is it nostalgic? Is it triumphant? The genre, instrumentation, Afrobeat, orchestral, ambient, all of that. Energy or arc, right? So does it build slowly? Does it drop at 30 seconds? Does it end abruptly? All of that. So let's look at an example here. Okay, so punctuation is important. Okay. So she opened the letter and stopped this. This changes everything. Ellipsis creates hesitation. The dash creates a break. You are directing the performance through punctuations. So yes, punctuations helps in everything that you even do with your AI, even when you're writing content. Okay. So in one sentence, let's play this game quickly. In one sentence, what is one thing you would do differently with your TTS now? That's your narrations or your music prompt from last class. Now that you understand the anatomy. Let's see those who have done it. Now let's look at image prompts. Tell me in the chat. I'm moving fast because we have about 10 minutes or so to be done with this class. Until we get into video, I don't think I want to be spending 2 hours until we really get into video creation. Right? So let's do 10 minutes and be done. All right. So prompting for images. This is how to prompt for images. Look at this here. Visual style. Remember, I chose hyper-realistic in one of my class, in one of the examples we had today. I did 3D animation. You can also do 2D animations. You can do paper style. You can do illustrated, dreamy, photographic, any other style you want to use. You can use them. Don't worry. We're going to be exploring some styles together, right? Then this is you putting this now into practice. Okay. If you want to get the best images, so you choose your visual style, choose the subject. Who is the subject? Is it a dragon? Is it a human being? Is it a boy? Is it a girl? Then the signature details. So of course, their hair looks like this, their eyes look like this, their body, the signature details, okay, of that specific character. Action or pose. Is the character standing with their arms akimbo? Are they shouting? Are they looking to the side? What are they doing? Basically, you have to direct that. The location and the time. Are they in the marketplace? Are they, for example, like our dragon in the cave? So location and time of day is important. So was it night? Was it day? Was it, put all of that, the lighting and weather and all of that. You can put that. I chose rain for the last image, right? So you can choose depending on your own image. Then color palette. Okay, you can choose what kind of color. So the reason I chose an African village was because I know that it was going to give me that earthy color, and it's going to balance out the green that I would see normally, right? The green flowers and trees, because I said rainforest. So of course, automatically, because the cave is high above, I knew that I'll be looking down into the trees, right? So I just added that African village just to spice that image up, right? So color palette is also important. Mood and emotion. Then of course, ultra HD or aspect ratio. So of course, you're going to choose, remember I chose very, very sharp image, right? You can choose yours, ultra HD, 8K, 4K, 2K, whatever K you want to go for, right? And then aspect ratio 16:9, 9:16, 3:2, and all of that. Choose yours. Okay. And then the final one is negative. So what you don't want in your images, for example, blurry hand, blurry fingers, 5 or how do we have it? Some people have 2 hands, like extra hands. You don't want that. Maybe blurry or what? Like some people would see and they will create like 10 fingers on one hand. You don't want all of that. So you can put that in here, that you don't want that, so that the AI does not put that for you. Okay, so of course, look at the example here. Notice the first bracket is visual style. So hyper realistic, 2D, 3D, paper style, dreamy, whatever else you want to put there. And then of course, we are going to explore styles in details later. So prompting for video. This is coming up in a few weeks' time. Don't worry, we're going to be exploring more of this. But these are some ways to actually prompt for your video. We're going to be explaining it. If I start explaining it now, you will still not get it. So let's just wait till that time. And of course, depending on the tool we are using. So these are all for camera, camera movement, vocabulary, push in, pan, track, pull out, tilt, static hold, and so on. Most of these you have heard while you were on set. on traditional filmmaking. You already know this. You have heard them before, right? But we're going to be exploring how AI translates them when you use them. Okay? So your story, your audio, your image, your video, all of this is important. So yes, we're going to be doing practicals, and you're going to be doing a scene from your story. Remember, you created your stories before. Yeah, a lot of us created stories before. We have written our script from before. So we're going to be doing your assignment is to create your first image from that scene. I'm not asking you for a flyer. I'm not asking you. I know you guys know how to do flyers a lot, but let's begin to come up with like the look and feel of our film. What will your film look like, self? What will it feel like? So you're going to take the template we have given you today, put those details into at least 3 images in your story, like scene 1, scene 2, scene 3. What does it look like? And you're going to create it. Don't worry, we're going to send that assignment to the group so that you'll know what to do. All right. So don't stress yourself. This is how we come to the end of today, you guys. I hope you got value. I hope you got massive value from today's class. If you got value, say I got value. Say Say If you are lost, say I'm lost. Say please find me. Let us know where to come and find you. Let us know where to come and find you. Okay, so feedback, guys. What are we getting? Feedbacks. Are we good? Are we lost? Do we need to retract? Do we need to say something? Tell me. I need feedbacks, you guys. We have 5 minutes to go. If you have questions, this is when to ask your question so that we can answer it. Has anybody been asking questions before so that I can check it out? So that I will check it out. Do we still have questions that I can check out later? Do we still have questions? So if I didn't answer your question on the live stream, please bring your questions to the group, okay, so that I can answer it. Ask your question on the group. I'll definitely answer. Everyone who has asked a question on the group, I usually answer. So if you have questions, please come and ask on the group, okay? Bring your questions to the group. I'll answer. Ask it on the group and we'll answer, okay? Okay, so someone is saying they should add them to the group. Please, could you type in the chat? Okay, so what I'm going to do, so I don't know, Oladuni's Productions, can you type your number or your email address so this person can reach out to you? Someone is saying in the chat, please add me to the group. Okay, so whoever invited you, yeah, please ask them to connect you to Oladuni's Productions, right? Tell them to connect you to them. They'll give you the details on how to join the group, okay? I'm not sending PDF. Nah, you guys will still go and I've told you guys not to give some people the details. You guys will still give them details. You'll still recap for them. I don't want you to give them details. Right? I don't want you to be giving them those details. So what we are going to do, I'll speak with Oladuni Production. We'll create a separate group for the active people, the ones that have been doing their assignments, the ones that have been attending classes, so that you can get those materials. Those are the ones that we will do. Right? That's what we'll do. We're not going to be sharing directly to that group again. Some people are not supportive of this, so we do not owe them that. Anyone who is not supporting is energy for energy, right? It's energy for energy. So we are not going to be giving out freebies to anyone who is not active. We're going to create a separate group for active members, and then that's where most of the information will be dropped, while we keep the other group for chat. We'll just be chatting there, right? But for resources, we would have a separate group for resources. Okay. Please connect with Oladuni Production so that you can chat with them and find out how to get involved, okay? All right. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for being part of today's class. We'll be back again on Friday. Expect your assignment and, of course, your diary session. Just a few people have been doing their diary sessions. But yeah, we now know. Remember, we are telling you guys, this is not just for now. This is a race to who you get to intern with at the end of the day. We are also looking out for interns that would work with us directly on real life projects to help you build your portfolio and your experience through everything that you are learning here, right? You engage with us and work with us. So yes, that's basically what we're going to be doing. So if you feel like this is not worth it, or, that's fine. That's fine at the end of the day. But if yes, we want to see you, we want to work with you, okay? We're going to be selecting our interns at the end of this project. So look out for it. Look out for that. Show up, show up, show up, show up. Be active. Do your assignments. Get involved. Support as much as you can. This is a skill that no matter where you go tomorrow across the world, this skill is valid. This skill is valid. You tell anybody, I know how to do AI content creation. I know how to do AI filmmaking. Guess what? We're not just teaching you filmmaking and being stuck up. We're teaching you AI content creation. That means if probably you travel out or you go somewhere, you see a fashion brand, you can walk in there and tell them, I can create content for you. You see a nail salon, you can walk in there and tell them, I can create content for you. You go into anywhere, you can create content for them. Influencer content, different content. You can do it. So you guys celebrate yourselves for being part of this. Okay, I celebrate all of you too. We're going to be chatting, we're going to be talking. Expect your assignments on your group. This is how we come to the end of today. We'll be back again on Friday for another amazing session. See y'all. Bye.